Look too bad there this morning. There is a move in Florida today to speed up the review of that state's Stand Your Ground law. That's the controversial law that's at the center of the Trayvon Martin killing. Florida's governor, Rick Scott, says that he wants a task force to examine the law, but not until after the Trayvon Martin investigation is complete. State Senator Chris Smith says there's too much at stake to wait, so he's convening his own task force tomorrow. Joins me now live from Tallahassee. Senator, thanks very much for being with us. I want to ask you what you hope to accomplish with your own individual task force that you're convening right away.
Well, I've assembled a lot of legal minds in South Florida, state's attorneys, public defenders, law professors, and others that have been studying this law for the past 8 years because it's been on the books way before the Trayvon Martin incident. And I hope to get all these legal minds together and look at the ramifications of what we've done and possibly come up with some changes to the law so that we can set the parameters of a civilized society here in Florida.
And I think a lot of people respect that, but at the same time might say, well, what's wrong with allowing the governor to continue with his move and his task force? And why do you think the governor is waiting until the Trayvon Martin investigation's over?
Well, to answer the first part, I don't really see a reason for the governor to wait. Lives are at stake, as you see from the Trayvon Martin case, that this law is being used, and even subsequent to what happened in Sanford 2 weeks ago in Miami, a gentleman chased a robber a block down the street, stabbed him to death, and was released and let go because of the Stand Your Ground. So this is a public safety issue, and to wait till after this one sensational case doesn't make sense. We were elected to act. We were elected to lead, not to wait and hide behind a case. But to the second part of your question, I really don't know if there's a motive for him doing that. But the problem is, you know, we're elected to lead, and we need to lead now and not just wait.
But do you see this potentially, Senator Smith, as being, you know, using a very, very sensitive political issue right now to inflame something that really is a critical issue for a lot of people? There are a lot of people who are concerned about Stand Your Ground, but not necessarily perhaps because of this particular case.
Right, so and that's my point. This has been an issue before that case, and this is going to continue to be an issue. And so what I've assembled.
But why time it to this case?
Minds.
I think that's my point. I don't question your motives in actually questioning the law, because you were on record way early on, back when this law actually got underway. You were on record way early on with the statistics, and you were against this law. So I can understand where your motives are. What I want to know is your timing. Do you think it could be dangerous to time your task force at a time when there's such political heated rhetoric about this particular case?
No, quite the contrary. I think now is the time. Because of the Trayvon Martin case, a lot more people are learning about this law and learning misinformation about this law. I now have people throughout the state thinking, okay, I'm a homeowners association captain, maybe I should carry a gun. Or there are a lot of people in the state saying, well, I didn't really know I had this right to go out and provoke something and shoot someone. So there's a lot of misinformation. So I think the timing is perfect, that we need to educate the public and let them know the parameters of this law, and really see if we need to close in the parameters of this law. Because of all the publicity from the Trayvon Martin case, I think the timing is perfect to have a grown-up discussion and educate the public about this law.
Just one last quick comment, though. One last quick comment,
ma'am.
Senator Martin, and that is, what if the Trayvon Martin case ends up proving out in a court of law to actually represent a situation in which the shooter did act in a justifiable way according to law? I'm not suggesting that's going to happen. Do not put me on record that way, one way or the other. What I'm trying to, and I think you know where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to suggest is, what if it turns out to be, after all is said and done, and this country has been up in arms on either side of this issue, that George Zimmerman did act in a lawful way, Stand Your Ground, and yet we pegged this entire hearing, or at least this entire task force, to this particular timing in this case?
No, and that's the point, and that's why I'm kind of disturbed that the governor's waiting. Stand Your Ground has been used for 8 years, and there have been questionable instances for 8 years beyond the Trayvon Martin case. So even, given the scenario, just for argument, even if it turns out the way you said in Trayvon Martin that it could, there's a lot more concern with this law that 22 other states have. And so the Trayvon Martin case has shone the light on this law that we must revisit and take a look at, and maybe send a message to other states that you have this law on the books that can be misused in these ways.
All right.
And so no matter what happens in the Trayvon Martin case, this is necessary.
Well, Senator Chris Smith, I hope you'll come back and join us and share some of your findings with us. It's great to talk to you the first time around, even better to talk to you now, and I look forward to our next outing.